Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the processional.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to class of 2018, family and friends. My name is Bill Lennon. It gives me great pleasure as chair of the trustees of Western Piedmont Community College to welcome you here for this celebration of our graduates. It is indeed our honor and pleasure to be with each of you. It is my privilege to stand before this talented and resourceful group of graduates, the 2018 graduating class of Western Piedmont Community College. Graduates, before we proceed further, I would like to offer just a word of thanks to you, because we, including the trustees, the administration, the faculty, and the staff of Western Piedmont, know that you made a choice to attend Western Piedmont, and I want to thank you for choosing us. You know that this was a choice that you did not take lightly. It was a choice that probably took some time to make, a choice that required you to use resources that perhaps you had not planned to use. A choice that probably kept you from work, your families, and warm sunny days that we're blessed to have this morning. However you chose to attend Western Piedmont Community College, a choice that has given us purpose, a choice that has given us energy, and a choice that has given us determination to help you learn, grow, and succeed as you have proven you can do. Proof because you are here today, in this moment. You made it. You did it. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be with you, and thank you for providing us the inspiration to see and watch what is possible. There is no doubt in our minds that the decision you made to attend Western Piedmont will take you to the next step, where you will find opportunity, employability, and a new world of possibility. Thank you again for choosing Western Piedmont Community College to find your way. You found your way to that beautiful hilltop campus. You worked your way, you succeeded, you somehow balanced studies, home responsibilities, and a number of you full-time employment as well. You are champions to me. Know that over the many years, your careers that you choose will require change and even more in skills and experiences. Take comfort in knowing that Western Piedmont Community College will be here to welcome you back, welcome you home, whether to visit or to sharpen your skills for continued successes. As we celebrate in this place today, I encourage that you live life your way. Realize that the journeys that end here today take you to the edge of a new beginning. Celebrate this day. Go forward in confidence. Be proud alum of Western Piedmont Community College. Our future collectively here in Western North Carolina requires your best, as does your family who love and support you. When you can, give something back and pay life and God's blessings and rewards forward, when and as you can. I encourage you to be an active alumnus and supporter of Western Piedmont in the years ahead. Welcome to this day. It's truly one of my highest honors to be here with you today. Congratulations, class of 2018. It is now my pleasure to welcome Angel Zong, President of Western Piedmont Community College Student Body and Student Trustee.
Wow. Thank you so much for that awesome introduction, Mr. Lennon. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Western Piedmont for giving me this opportunity to speak. I am truly humbled to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2018. Thank you, faculty, for making Western Piedmont more than just a community college, but also making it home to everyone. The students appreciate your willingness to teach, to guide, and to also encourage a faculty-student relationship. The class of 2018 could have not done it without you. All right. Graduates, look around. And what do you see? Take your time, look around. I see people from all aspects of life. The single parents, parents who work full-time, grandparents who want to fulfill a dream of theirs, transfer students who will be continuing their education at a 4-year university, and high school students using this opportunity to graduate with college credits. What do all these people have in common? We are here because we have achieved a goal in our life, graduating from Western Piedmont Community College. Another thing all these people represent is an idea. The idea that there's not a preferred time in someone's life to learn. Learning is a lifelong process. We are neither too old or too young to learn. Michael Legrand said it best when he said, "The more I live, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I realize, the less I know." As I was preparing for my speech, one of my aunts asked me a question. When you go to school every day, what inspires you? This was an easy question for me. For all of you that are here continuing your education, you are the ones that inspire me. I can't imagine how hard it is to juggle children, a job, mortgage, and still find the time to continue your education. Both my parents fall into this group. They raised me, my sister, my brother, and provided for us, and still found the time to complete their college education. They inspire me and motivate me to complete my own college education. I would like to say thank you to my parents, aunties, uncles, cousins, for supporting me through all my ups and downs. I also want to thank my awesome friends. I don't think I could have made it without seeing you guys every day. I love y'all so much. I truly could not have done it without any of you guys. I will have to say that I've left my mark on Western Piedmont, and Western Piedmont has definitely left a mark on me. Actually, it left a mark on my car. If you don't know the story, I, your SGA president, hit that light pole on campus by the side of the road some time ago. I'm so very sorry about that. But from that accident, I've learned something. But not the least, I've learned that it's important to pay attention and to also use my rearview mirrors. After we leave here today, and as Monday approaches, some of us will already have a job lined up. Some will be looking for one, while others, like myself, will be continuing our education. Life is a long, hard, and tiring journey. Fill your life with learning. Learn as much as you can. The willingness and motivation to learn will make you a better, stronger, and more knowledgeable person. Wherever the road of life will take us, please remember that learning is a lifelong process, because when you stop learning, you stop living. Now go out there and safely make your mark on this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Angel, and it's only a light pole. They're easy to replace, you're not so easy to replace. My name is Michael Helmick. I am the president of Western Piedmont Community College, and I too would like to add my personal greetings to the audience and to the graduates and welcome everyone to the annual spring graduation ceremony at Western Piedmont Community College. This morning we are gathered to honor the students of the graduating class of 2018. Those students whose desire for learning and aspirations for a better life led them to enroll at Western Piedmont. Before we proceed with the ceremony, I want to recognize several individuals who are here this morning to participate in this annual celebration of students' achievement. First, a group of very dedicated and supportive individuals who give so unselfishly of their time and energy to Western Piedmont, our Board of Trustees. If you all would stand as I call your name. Mr. Bill Lennon, Chair of the Trustees. Mr. Ronnie Thompson. Ms. Kim Kling. Ms. Amparo Alfaro. Mr. John Mercer, Mr. Dan DeHart, Mr. Lamar Smitherman, and Ms. Angel Zong, our student trustee. Please join me in showing your appreciation for these individuals. Next, I would like to acknowledge the administration of the college, the deans and the senior administration who work so well together to ensure the efficient operation of the institution. The senior staff of Western Piedmont Community College, please stand as I call your names and remain standing. Ms. Sandy Hoylman, Vice President of Administrative Services. Mr. Atticus Simpson, Vice President for External Affairs and Workforce Development. Ms. Rhea Crawford, Vice President of Academic and Student Success, and Ms. Kathy Durham, Executive Assistant to the President and Trustee Liaison. Kathy is not on the stage, but she's doing what she does best. She's helping keep everything in the auditorium functioning. Next, the college deans. Mr. Michael Daniels, Health, Engineering, and Applied Technology Dean. Ms. Anne Marie McNeely, Dean of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Leslie McKesson, Dean of Business, Public Services, and Academic Support. Mr. Lee Kaiser, Dean of Workforce Development and Continuing Education. Ms. Susan Williams, Dean of Student Services. Mr. Jim Coleman, Dean of Information Technology. Let's give these dedicated Western Piedmont Community College administrators a hand. Thank you. You all may be seated. Next, a group of individuals without whom we could not operate the college. You may not be aware that Western Piedmont consistently outperforms many of the other North Carolina community colleges on the mandated performance measures. And our surveys indicate that our students are pleased with the education they receive and consistently recommend us to their friends and family. WPCC is a college of excellence because we have the best, most dedicated faculty and staff of any college that I know. We do not say thank you enough to these individuals, so please join me in thanking the faculty and staff of Western Piedmont Community College as they stand to receive your applause. Thank you. You all can be seated. Finally, while I express my gratitude for those individuals who figure so prominently in the college, I want to thank those individuals who are not on stage but made what goes on up here possible. Please help me thank the staff who helped make this graduation event happen, the Student Services staff. Before I introduce our speaker, I want to draw your attention to a few items of ceremony that help make the WPCC graduation special. First, you probably have noticed the college mace, carried to the stage by Rachel Bradshaw, the Chief Marshal. Historically, a mace is a weapon carried ahead of high government officials to announce to everyone that someone prominent is coming. Today, a mace is largely ceremonial, used frequently in academic events, and they are a symbol of tying the past of the college to the present. This mace has the elements that date back more than 20 years at the college, and the current version incorporates those historical elements and more modern elements. The wooden shaft on the mace is made from a wild cherry tree that grew on the WPCC campus and blew down in a storm a couple of years ago. This particular mace is a good example of the cooperation that occurs so often on this campus. The stand for the mace was crafted by John Ferguson, our professional crafts wood instructor. The finial on the top of the mace is ceramic and was crafted by Courtney Long, our professional crafts department head and pottery instructor. And the metal pieces, some of which are not visible, were crafted by Larry Thompson, CNC machining technology instructor, and Brandon Hensley, department head for engineering. Thanks to all of you for your efforts on this project. I think it turned out great. Next, in your program, you will find a description of the ceremonial regalia that is worn by many of our faculty and staff. The colors of the hoods that are worn designate both the academic discipline of the wearer and the college from which the degree was earned. You might find it interesting to see how many disciplines are represented by the faculty and staff of Western Piedmont. Lastly, I want to point out the Presidential Medallion. Presidents at most colleges have a medallion that represents the office I am wearing the WPCC Presidential Medallion, and it gives me great pleasure to tell you that it is an example of the fine work that is done by the Advanced Machining Program at Western Piedmont. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for this morning. Our graduation speaker today is Dr. Leslie Dula McKesson, soon to be the retired Dean of Public Services and Academic Support of the Academic Support Division at Western Piedmont Community College. Dr. McKesson has a long and successful career as an educator, speaker, and historian, and having her as our graduation speaker today is an honor and a privilege for this institution, given her long and stellar career at the college. Among her many educational attributes, Dr. McKesson has an exceptional pedigree. After completing a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in 1980, Dr. McKesson immediately returned to the classroom and completed training as a paralegal just 4 months after earning her bachelor's degree. In 1992, she earned a certificate in microcomputer information management word processing from WPCC, completing this certificate while teaching in the paralegal technology department at the college. Dr. McKesson has been a true lifelong learner, earning her Master of Arts degree in higher education from Appalachian State University in 1993, an educational specialist degree in higher education from ASU in 2009, and finally her doctorate of education in educational leadership from Appalachian State in 2016. Her dissertation entitled Determined to Rise, a conceptual and counter-narrative analysis of the higher education attainment experiences of 3 African-American men, capped off her education and was so highly regarded that she won the Naylor Outstanding Dissertation Award given to her by Appalachian State. Dr. McKesson has also served as an adjunct professor at ASU. Dr. McKesson has served for over 28 years at Western Piedmont Community College, beginning her career in 1989, holding positions as instructor and coordinator in paralegal technology and her current position of dean. In each of her positions at the college, she helped drive her department, division, and college to new heights of excellence. As an instructor and coordinator, she established one of the first online degrees at the college and the first completely online degree in paralegal technology in North Carolina. She also served on numerous committees at the college, including service learning and global education. Her community service includes board membership on a number of local nonprofits, including Burke United Christian Ministries and the Quaker Meadows chapter of the National Society of the Daughters of American Revolution. She's active in many civic and private concerns and spends a good deal of her time supporting causes about which she is passionate. She is most proud of her membership at New Day Christian Church, where she serves as the music director. And if you have ever heard Dr. McKesson sing, you know how fortunate New Day Christian Church is to have her as their music director. A gifted speaker, in 2016, Dr. McKesson spoke at TEDx Hickory, a speakers forum modeled after the TED Talk series. Her TEDx topic, Grace, Growing Racial and Cultural Empathy, challenged our notion of truth and asked the audience to take a fresh and critical look at what we hold as truth and why, so we can expand our individual capacity for greater humanitarianism. The TEDx video is available on YouTube, and I encourage you to watch it when you have a chance. Dr. McKesson has done extensive research on her family heritage and is a noted historian regarding her North Carolina roots. Her family traces their heritage back to Dulatown, an area in Caldwell County, and Dr. McKesson has written a book about her early ancestors entitled Black and White, the story of Harriet, Harshaw, and Squire James Alfred Dula. She is married to George, and she currently has 4 adult children and 14 grandchildren. Dr. McKesson resides in Morganton. Please help me welcome to the lectern, Dr. Leslie McKesson.
Good morning. You can say that back. Good morning. Good, thank you. What an amazing day this is. You made it, right? 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, or more years. You began the journey a long time ago. You took a step in the direction of your future, and you kept putting one foot in front of the other, even when it was hard. Now you're here, about to step across this stage in the presence of family, friends, faculty, and staff. An auditorium full of people has gathered to celebrate all of you today, graduates. saying by their very presence that they're happy for you and that they're proud of what you have accomplished. These are the folks who have poked, prodded, and provoked you from time to time. Maybe they've had to pacify you once or twice as you press through your studies. But now they're here to praise you and to pat you on the back in recognition of a job well done. Allow me to also extend my congratulations to the Western Piedmont Community College graduating class of 2018. It's also the day before Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the moms in the audience. Hands up, moms. Wonderful. What a wonderful gift this is, right? This is, I hope, a happy day for you graduates. I also hope that it's one that you will remember fondly and frequently for the rest of your lives. Social media sites are probably already blowing up with pictures and videos of smiling faces and people hugging. And before the end of the day, most of you will have a digital treasure trove of happy memories that you can visit and revisit in the future. This is a happy and very sentimental day for me as well, because as Dr. Helmick indicated, I'll be retiring soon. And this marks the last time that I will share the commencement stage with the esteemed faculty and staff of Western Piedmont Community College. I'm deeply honored by the opportunity to speak. Dr. Helmick, thank you so much for the invitation. And there are so many messages that I could have shared with you today. In fact, I wrote 3 speeches before I settled on one. That's just how I am. Go with me. My objective today is to share some thoughts, and I hope that a few of them will stick with you. My message is simple. Be happy. Let me hear you say that so you can at least remember the title. Be happy. Okay, thank you. I want to talk about how to hold on to happiness. After you leave this place, after the exhilaration of the day is over, and as you travel through the rest of your lives, happiness is difficult to define and measure because it's so subjective. But in spite of that, social scientists have found ways to investigate it. They've quantified happiness as a measure of the success or failure of public policy, as an indicator of social progress. Happiness has been studied in the medical field, and research indicates that the self-reported state of happiness is statistically associated with lower risk of heart disease, stronger immune systems, reduced levels of stress, fewer aches and pains, lower disease and disability, and longer life. Philosophically speaking, Plato, Aristotle, King David of Israel, Confucius, Kierkegaard, and Thoreau are just a few of the thought leaders through human history who've pondered and penned about happiness, what it is, how to attain it, how to hold it. From a legal and political perspective, happiness was such an important idea to the founding fathers of this country that the framers of the Declaration of Independence codified and immortalized the concept of the pursuit of happiness, legitimating the idea of happiness as a basic human right. Now, it's pretty likely that when you made the decision to come to college, it was somehow attached to your own pursuit of happiness. You assigned some value to higher education, perhaps because you expected it to increase your earning potential, maybe because you thought it would deepen your understanding of the world or improve your self-concept, or maybe because it would get your parents off your back and give you something to do for a couple of years. Many of the decisions we make in life are somehow tied to our happiness. Whether we're trying to achieve it, increase it, or whether we're fighting to hold on to it, or sometimes trying to get it back. My point essentially is that most people find happiness to be fundamental to their lives. As important as it is, though, happiness can be very elusive. It can be hard to catch hold of. It can be fleeting. For some people, it seems to be always just out of reach because they attach happiness to the next place, the next thing, the next relationship. As philosophers and researchers continue to grapple with the metaphysical aspects of happiness and politicians with the social aspects, neuroscientists have begun to study the physical manifestations, and there's some very interesting findings. Dr. Dan Gilbert of Harvard University theorizes that there are two types of happiness. Now, here's where we go back to the classroom. Y'all aren't done yet, okay? The first type he calls natural happiness, and the second type he calls synthetic happiness. At the risk of oversimplifying the distinctions between the two, natural happiness occurs when you get your way, when you get what you want from a circumstance or from an individual. It is situational, and it's often short-lived. Synthetic happiness, on the other hand, occurs when you construct happiness out of what already exists within your environment. This tends to represent a more enduring state of happiness. Now, don't be put off by the term synthetic. We often interpret that word to mean that something is artificial, fake, not real, and that would naturally lead us to assume that synthetic happiness is not as good as natural happiness, when the truth is probably more the opposite. Synthetic happiness demonstrates a higher order, longer lasting state, one that science says can only be achieved by humans. Now, for purposes of sharing some comments with you today, what Dr. Gilbert calls natural happiness, I'm going to call externally driven happiness, because it's brought about by factors that we do not control. What he calls synthetic happiness, I will refer to as internally driven happiness, because it's based on our own personal agency. Now, let me give you an example of these two types of happiness. Let's say that I'm a recent graduate of Western Piedmont Community College. I've interviewed for a job, and I could be placed either in Atlanta or in Morganton. How many for Atlanta? Everybody wants to stay in Morganton. Awesome. Okay. But I really, really want to go to Atlanta because moving to a big city is something I've always wanted to do. The employer calls and offers me the Atlanta position, and now I am happy. I'm just happy. Okay. I got what I wanted. The happiness that I'm experiencing is something generated by an event that was controlled by someone else. It was controlled by the employer. Now, this is an example of what I'm calling externally driven happiness. While it's great that I got what I wanted out of the situation, this type of happiness is short-term, and it can be easily taken away. So continuing with this example, a few days later, the employer calls me back and says the position in Atlanta has been canceled due to a company reorganization. And now they ask me to take the position in Morganton. I'm like, seriously? So now I'm at a place that could diminish the happiness that I had because my dream job was just snatched away. But because I have this wonderfully human capacity to reason with myself, I assess my situation, and I recognize that taking the job in Morganton will mean I don't have to move my small children away from my family support system. So childcare won't become a problem for me. I also realize that the cost of living is much lower in Morganton than it is in Atlanta. So by staying here for a while, I can afford that new car I so desperately need after I struck a pole. And I may even be able to upgrade from my apartment to renting a small house. So guess what? Even though I didn't get what I wanted, I'm still happy. My happiness here is based on my critical analysis and goal realignment. It is internally driven and generated within me, and it is a product of my own agency. So even in the face of conditions that I can't control, I can remain happy. Researchers in neuroscience have found that synthetic or internally driven happiness, such as this, is just as real and just as genuine as natural or externally driven happiness. And there's the added benefit that internally driven happiness is longer lasting. Getting what we want is wonderful when it happens, And it's healthy that we experience this kind of happiness on occasion. But the good news is that when our wishes don't come true, which can be more often than not, there are still ways within our control to maintain deep, long-lasting happiness. Now, I did a bit of informal research in preparation for this speech, and I'm about to share with you 4 types of what I call happy hacks. Each of these hacks has some strategies that you can start to use today to help you experience a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Happy hack number 1, practice realistic optimism. Realistic optimism acknowledges difficulties and hardships. It doesn't hide its head under the sand. But rather than being emotionally paralyzed by problematic situations, it focuses energy on clarification, reassessment, realignment, and resolution. At the core of the realistic optimist belief system is a conviction that there can be improvement at some level, whether that improvement comes through the situation, externally, or through the individual's response to the situation, internally. And the realistic optimist believes that she or he can make a meaningful contribution toward that improvement. They realize that the only person they can completely control is themselves, and they critically question and challenge their own negative thinking. This enables them to discover hidden advantages and leverage points even within the situation. A strategy of the realistic optimist is reflected in an old adage. These people know how to look for the silver lining and not be demoralized by the presence of the clouds. This is a person who reflects on happiness, what it means, what it looks like, what it feels like. Another particularly effective strategy of the realistic optimist is practicing gratitude, and I encourage you to do that today. In small ways, in large ways, finding things that people can be thankful for, that you can be thankful for, even in the face of disappointment. Using this strategy can improve your happiness. The end result is that even if you can't improve your situation, you can keep the situation from eating away at your spirit. Happy hack number 2, consider your friends. Focusing on people and relationships rather than on things and situations tends to make people happier. Remembering another old adage that says things can be replaced. Dr. Helmick made mention of that earlier. Likening life to an ever-flowing, constantly changing river can soothe the sting of disappointment. Because our associations have a profound effect on our happiness, another strategy relates to the individuals that we surround ourselves with. People who participate in activities within small groups, such as a lunch group, a book club, a sports or church team, identify themselves as happy at significantly higher rates. A 20-year study conducted by the National Institutes of Health and the National Institute of Aging found that when an individual is happy, that happiness causes a chain reaction and a ripple effect. Now get this. When an individual is happy, their friends are happier. Not only are their friends happier, but their friends' friends show increased happiness, and their friends' friends' friends show increased happiness as well. Don't know how it works, but that's the science of it, folks. So there is a 3-degree impact on happiness. And what's more, that effect was found to last for up to a year. While I found no corresponding data indicating that unhappiness has a similar effect, there's another old adage that misery loves company. Anybody heard that? Some people are very good at spreading unhappiness. And happy people tend to have limited connections with negative influencers. Happy hack number 3, task orientation. The things that we do have a large effect on our sense of happiness. And while there are some activities we can't avoid, there are others that we can control more intentionally. Happy people tend to focus on one task at a time rather than multitasking whenever they can. This allows them to increase their level of engagement with that activity and to reduce the stress of mental code switching. They set goals, realizing that they may need to amend those goals to reflect external or internal changes, very much as many of you had to take some detours, I'm sure, to reach the point where you are today. Realistic optimists hold themselves accountable to revising, if necessary, and completing their goals. Happy hack number 4, work on you. There are lots of personal tweaks that can make us happier people. Even if you already consider yourself a happy person, what if you could become even more so by adding a few happy strategies to your life? Here are a few kind of random strategies that I found most frequently referenced as I was doing my research. Happy people practice presence. They find ways to enjoy the moment without delaying their happiness until some condition is met. When they go to lunch with their friends, they turn off the cell phone and talk to the people who are physically present with them. Happy people often identify with spiritual awareness, through which they connect to something bigger than themselves and find purpose and meaning for their lives. Although spirituality is not the same thing as religion, religion is a form of spirituality. And something that's often associated with spirituality are acts of kindness, willingness to help others. For those of you who are familiar with Christianity, you may be familiar with the teaching that people are more happy when they give than when they receive. Practical steps such as getting enough sleep and enough rest to avoid the irritability that comes with fatigue and causes unhappiness for you and those around you is another good approach. A related strategy of happy people is to work toward a proper work-life balance. Happy people are also less likely to remain in situations in which their happiness is unsustainable. Happy people tend to prioritize activities that create positive memories. They even rehearse those activities in their minds before they happen. Then they relive or reminisce about those memories after the moment has passed, just as you will do after your graduation today. So enjoy the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat posts tonight. Relive this day and other moments of happiness often, and work hard to be happy. As you leave Western Piedmont Community College, I challenge you graduates to continue your education as a lifelong student of the art and science of happiness. Remember that as human beings, we are psychologically and spiritually equipped to create and sustain a sense of well-being. What would happen if we committed to intentionally engaging the work of happiness? Is it possible that over time we could see a positive shift in the world we live in? Maybe. Philosophy and science seem to infer that that could very well happen. And we can certainly see a positive shift in ourselves, in our families, and in our places of employment if we apply some of these strategies. So in conclusion, if there's one song that captures the intent and the content of my message today, it's a song by Pharrell Williams. You know what I'm talking about? 'Cause I'm happy, I'm gonna ask you all to help me with that, okay? Graduates, most of you probably are familiar with the movie Despicable Me, right? And there is a happy little song with a phrase that says, 'Cause I'm happy. Let me hear somebody help me sing that. I'm a choir director, so I'm stepping into that right now, okay? 'Cause I'm happy. I hear you, but I need to hear you a little bit more. Come on. 'Cause I'm happy. That sounds good. Now I want you to continue to do that, and I'm gonna fill in the in-between places, okay? Okay? Thank you. Okay. Here we go. Get ready to start. 'Cause I'm happy. We'll do it a couple of times and then I'll come in. 'Cause I'm happy. Sing it louder. Here we go. 'Cause clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. One more time. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. 'Cause I'm happy. Beautiful. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much. Be happy.
That was wonderful. Good morning. Congratulations to all of today's graduates. We welcome all of the family members and friends who are here to celebrate your accomplishments and these educational milestones. In addition to recognizing our graduates each year, we also recognize and celebrate an outstanding member of our faculty that has demonstrated extraordinary efforts as a teacher. This award recipient is also recognized for exceptional service to the profession and a remarkable commitment to students, the college, and the community. The Excellence in Teaching Award was established by the Western Piedmont Foundation in 1986 to honor a member of the full-time faculty nominated by his or her own peers and students. It is indeed my honor to present the 2018 Excellence in Teaching Award. The recipient of this distinguished award will receive a plaque, a medallion to wear at all future Western Piedmont graduation ceremonies, and a financial award provided by the Western Piedmont Foundation. The instructor being honored today has a love for teaching and a passion for working with students. This instructor consistently receives excellent student evaluation. Students describe this instructor as an incredible inspiration to us all. Another student remarked that the instructor goes above and beyond their position for the students. This year's recipient also receives compliments from their peers. Colleagues describe this individual as professional with attention to detail, creative, and personally invested in students and their potential for success. A nomination letter from a colleague praises this instructor by saying, "The nominee truly cares about students as individuals and gets to know them as real people with real hopes, dreams, and fears." An additional comment from a fellow faculty member states that the instructor consistently displays efforts to create an all-inclusive environment for expression, discovery, interaction, and communication among students. This individual has more than 20 years of experience in education and promotion of the arts. She received a bachelor's degree from Adrian College in Michigan and a Master of English from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. She completed additional graduate work at the University of Southern Maine and 18 graduate hours at the International Institute for Readers Theatre in London. To offer a snapshot of the extraordinary efforts demonstrated by this individual, here's a list of just a few. This individual has more than 20 years of experience in education and community service and was named the Community College Connector for International Alliance of Invitational Education. She has been named to Who's Who among American teachers repeatedly since 2002. This individual serves as program coordinator of the drama department at Western Piedmont Community College, where her energy, commitment, and enthusiasm motivates and encourages the success of students. This year's recipient managed and orchestrated the lighting, sound, props, and costume requirements of the Western Piedmont Community College Fall 2017 production of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. One nominator said she travels extensively to audition for movie and television acting roles and has performed in local TV commercials, serving as a direct example to her students that they can be successful if they truly want it. She participated in the 48-day film competition, which brought worldwide recognition, as the competition partnered with 5 other countries to produce a collaborative film project. Today's recipient now joins an illustrious group at Western Piedmont Community College who provide leadership in not just the art and science of teaching, but also the heart. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce the recipient of the 2018 Western Piedmont Foundation Excellence in Teaching Award, Deborah Lennon.
Now the time we've been waiting for. I now ask the candidates for graduation to please stand. President Helmick, I am honored to speak on behalf of the faculty of Western Piedmont Community College to present to you these candidates for graduation. I certify that these persons have fulfilled the graduation requirements for their respective programs of study as prescribed by the college and the North Carolina Community College system, and recommend that you confer upon them the degrees and diplomas for which they have qualified.
Candidates, you have prepared for the next stage in your lives by completing a prescribed program of study. Whether you choose to continue your formal education at a 4-year college or university, continue employment in your chosen field, or begin employment in a new career, you will be faced with the challenge of adjusting to a constantly changing world in the 21st century. Our world continues to become more complex, requiring that we master the technological, scientific, and humanistic skills which contribute to the development of our society. The foundation you have received in general education will enable you to think critically, to reason logically, and to judge wisely, both in your careers and in your daily lives. Western Piedmont Community College has prepared you well for whatever path you choose, but I urge you to remember that your education is not ending, it is just beginning. Make a commitment at this ceremony to become a lifelong learner and continually hone the skills that you have obtained in your time here. Now, with the exception of the first row, the graduates may be seated. The graduates will come forward as their names are called to receive their degrees and diplomas, and as a special request, I ask that the audience members respect the solemnity of this ceremony and treat all graduates with dignity and respect during the upcoming conferring of degrees. Now, Dean Anne-Marie McNeely will come to the lectern as we begin presenting our awards.
Division of Arts and Sciences, candidates for the degree of Associate in Arts. Mark L. Avery. Natalie Denora Beam. Jessica Faye Coffey. Ariana Brielle Conley, honors. Wendy D. Crawley, honors. Sarai Fleming. Raven Ann Nicole Henshin. David Lee Holbrook. Jasmine Michelle Hunter. Gregory Dylan Clapp, Phi Theta Kappa, honors. Carrie Elizabeth Lawson, Phi Theta Kappa, high honors. Brianne M. Lockie, high honors. Tamia Chantel Mack, honors. Melinda A. Palmer, Phi Theta Kappa, High Honors. Cassie Leanne Powell. Katrinka Dawn Melton Probst. Nathaniel Ellis Reese, Phi Theta Kappa, Honors. Corwin Smith, Phi Theta Kappa. Jory Elizabeth Stanton, Phi Theta Kappa, High Honors. Lauren Turner. Darius Emmanuel Wright. Tao Kang Yang. Candidate for the degree of Associate in Fine Arts, Drama, Noah R. McDowell, Honors. Candidates for the degree of Associate in Fine Arts, Visual Arts, Joseph Allen Martin, Phi Theta Kappa, High Honors. Candace Elizabeth Starkey, High Honors. Candidates for the degree of Associate in Science, Nicole A. Andres Tomas. Brianna Brandon. Tyler Bray. Justin M. Buchanan. Bradley P. Estep. Margarita Francisco Juan, Burke Collegiate Scholar. Ryan C. Hartman. Lillian Rose Mazaleski, Phi Theta Kappa, High Honors. Francisco Escalante Mendoza, Honors. Virginia J. Moats, Phi Theta Kappa, High Honors. Daniel Colt Oliver. Joseph Hunter Allen Siegel, Honors. Nayli Zong. Candidate for the degree of Associate in General Education, Heather Dawn Keller. Division of Health, Engineering, and Applied Technology. Candidates for the degree of Associate in Applied Science, Medical Assisting. Marisol Adame, Phi Theta Kappa, Honors. Irina D. Dameron, Phi Theta Kappa, High Honors. Shikaya R. Early. Yarletti E. Fernandez. Khadijah S. Harshaw. Cassidy Hensley. Caitlin Eisenhower. Kazua Mary Lore, Phi Theta Kappa, Honors. Taylor Winkler Messick. Ab Ur Mua. Shakira Simon Mendoza, Burke Collegiate Scholar. Maxine S. Vang. Medical Laboratory Technology, Yasmin R. Adame Zavala, Honors. Rhonda H. Cole, Phi Theta Kappa. Andrew M. Corey. Kelsey Lee Detweiler, High Honors. Bridget R. Lewis, High Honors. Andrea D. Patterson. Tori Caroline Rash. Pa Vu. Tamara Jeanette Zayas. Nursing. Eulalia Andre Swan. Lauren E. Branch. Tyler Brown. Michael Ryan Buchanan. Molly Bumgarner. Megan P. Crater. Carly Renee Deal. Jill Marie Dooley. Stacy Lynn Edwards. Evelyn Yesenia Gaspar. Rebecca Lynn Gilly. Sarah M. Gordon. Amanda Eisenhower. Francine Luna Jimenez. Alyssa Kirk Kelly. Me Lore. Joshua D. McCall, Phi Theta Kappa. Molly McKenzie, Phi Theta Kappa, Honors. Faith McLean, High Honors. Amber Meredith Lynn Morgan. Jenna Patton. Kendra M. Phillips. Jonathan A. Smith. Stephanie Lauren Vernon. Joshua Lee Yount. Nursing and Associate in Arts, Katie M. Martin. Occupational Therapy Assistant, Haley Chapman Johnson, honors. Gabriana Kennedy, Phi Theta Kappa. Karen E. Loviska, high honors. Melanie Hua Yang, Phi Theta Kappa, high honors. Therapeutic Recreation Assistant, Cassandra McDonough. Candidates for Diploma, Dental Assisting, Heidi Klein, high honors. Ashley Abby Elizabeth Cox, honors. Holly Amber Catherine Dale, high honors. Hilda Luz Garcia, high honors. Jose A. Garcia Villanueva, honors. Emily Hang, honors. Chastity Leanne Suttles. Lamaria Asjanae Vinoy, honors. Holly Nicole Yelton, honors. Medical assisting, Ashley Michelle Bentley. Yvette A. Perkins, honors. Xing Vang.
One of the interesting things about Western Piedmont is how many people in this area have a connection to the college. I suspect that we have many proud Western Piedmont Community College graduates here today, and I think it would be great to show how many of those past graduates are in the audience. So before the graduating class of 2018 is officially presented, I ask all persons in the audience who are Western Piedmont Community College alumni to honor our new graduates by standing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the legacy of the college. Alumni, please remain standing while we confer degrees. Now we're going to make it official. Will the Western Piedmont Community College class of 2018 please rise? And now, by the authority vested in me by the trustees of Western Piedmont Community College, the North Carolina Community College System, and the state of North Carolina, and in recognition of the completion of your prescribed programs of study and all other requirements of Western Piedmont Community College, I take great pleasure in hereby conferring your degrees and diplomas to you, together with all rights and privileges. Graduates, the tassel on your mortarboard is currently on the right, which is the traditional location for students who have not completed their degree. Degree completers wear their tassels on the left. We degree completers would like to ask you to join us in our ranks, so please raise your left hand. Okay, your other left hand. Now grasp the end of the tassel and move it to the left, signifying your acceptance into the ranks of degree completers. Graduates, you are officially recognized as the Western Piedmont graduating class of 2018. Audience, please stand and applaud our new graduates. If the audience will please be seated and remain seated for the recessional, you all will get out right after the recessional. Thank you.